Hello and welcome to Estuary TV News with me, James Dunn. In the show today we've got a big star from the 60s who's touring the UK and a haircut from the 70s. It's Dan Kemp taking a look ahead at the weekend of sport. But first, here's Richard Morris with the news headlines.
Hello, in the headlines today, a public consultation on the future of North East Lincolnshire Council's toilets and a new kind of flu jab for children in the North Lincolnshire Council area. North East Lincolnshire Council has launched a consultation into its public toilet provisions. Currently, the council spends £200,000 a year cleaning and maintaining the facilities. It is hoped that the possibility of charging for use of public toilets would contribute towards those payments. Matt Ward, an advanced practitioner for assets in the council, spoke to us about how the consultation is taking shape and the responses so far.
Well, it's been a mixed bag, to be fair. What we're asking people is to describe their experiences of using toilets, the cleanliness, how frequent they use the toilets, and do they feel there's enough provision in the area. And by and large, like I say, it's been a mixed bag, but the last final question is we're asking, are people interested in paying to use our toilets? Everyone knows there's a budget pressure with the local authority on every provision that we have. Toilets is no exception. It's costing over £200,000 per year to actually clean and maintain toilets. So one way to negate the impact on the council and to give better value for money in terms of service delivery is to charge. And we've had some very good responses around that. We're looking at charging between 10 pence and 50 pence, but some people have actually said they would like to pay more if the provision or the actual condition of the toilets was of a superior quality.
If you would like to contribute to the consultation, then you can search any links consultation on the internet and fill in the responses online. The Highways Agency has shown it's investing in safer roads this winter with a new £550,000 salt dome in Broughton. The dome has the biggest entrance in the UK, which is more appropriate for modern-day loading equipment. Staff are encouraging motorists to do a winter vehicle check, look at weather forecasts before travelling and keep boots and a blanket in the car. But the new dome will make it easier for their staff to get to gritting quicker when frost strikes.
It's designed to current standards. It's designed for the technology we have at the moment, i.e. the lorries that we use to bring salt for deliveries to the depot. They are much larger vehicles, and when they tip up, as you can see, the entrance is quite large. It allows them to tip safely, and it's efficient. The lorries are bigger, so they need a bigger opening for them to deliver their salt and exit and egress safely.
Police are appealing for information after an aggravated burglary on Broad Lane in Gilberdyke. 4 masked men broke into the detached property at around 8 p.m. on Monday while the occupiers were still at home. While they were in the house, the intruders forced the 2 occupants present to escort them around the house, leading them to items of value. Reportedly, the incident took place over the course of an hour, and the men left the property with an amount of cash, items of jewellery and Rolex watches. Humberside Police would like to speak to anyone with any kind of information or witness testimonies. Crime Stoppers is also taking anonymous calls on this incident. Today and tomorrow you can see all kinds of exhibitions in Hull. The Hull Platform Expo features speakers from Microsoft, a zombie walk, new virtual reality experiences and many other events, stalls and speakers. The event is supported by Hull College and has been running for 5 years. There's also a possibility you may just see members of a certain TV station there this weekend too. Since the beginning of this week, North Lincolnshire Council has been urging people who are eligible but still haven't taken free flu jabs to do so. Well, this year the local NHS is trialling a new nasal spray vaccination for younger children. We spoke to Frances Cumming, Director of Public Health for North Lincolnshire, about the advantages of this scheme over the traditional needles and jabs.
Well, we want to be able to vaccinate, as part of the vaccination strategy for flu, we want to be able to vaccinate children and young people because they are, not only to protect them from flu, but also because they are some of our biggest transmitters of flu when we have it. And we want to give healthy children an option of having a vaccination, and the easiest way to do that is flu, and it's been specially adapted for this nasal spray. It's easier to give, the kids like it better, and it's easy to give to healthy children.
That's all from me for now, and I'll be back with more news soon. Bye for now.
Thanks, Richard. Now, next on the show, with 14 top tens between them, the Manfreds were a household name in the 60s. They built up such a loyal following that they're now going on tour again, and one of those dates is at Grimsby Auditorium. They're a bit older and greyer than before, but with timeless hits like Do Wah Diddy and 54321, they're bound to put on a good show. And I've got guitarist Tom McGuinness with me today. Obviously he can't be here because he's on tour, but he's joining me on the phone. Tom, what made you decide to put Grimsby on the list?
I'm sure we've played in Grimsby before at this venue. I'm not sure of anything these days, Richard, but I'm pretty sure I've been there. We don't actually choose them. This tour is being promoted by a company, and they've just set up a whole run of dates for us, which we're happy to do. Why wouldn't we want to come to Grimsby?
Why not indeed? I like your logic. So you're a huge band in the 60s, but for fans and those people who don't know about the Manfreds, what can we expect from the concert?
Well, it's very much an evening of hits. We're all, four of us are ex-members of the group Manfred Man, hence the name The Manfreds, which is what we were always called anyway by journalists and fans. And, we had about 15 or 16 hits in 5 years, so we'll do all of them. And then Paul Jones, one of the lead singers, he had a few solo hits, so we'll do some of those. Mike Darbo, who replaced Paul and had, half a dozen or 7 or 8 hits with us, he has also written a couple of big hit songs. Build Me Up, Buttercup, which was a big hit for the Foundations, and Handbags and Glad Rags, which lots of people have done, and it was a theme tune of the Office and stuff like that. And a Welsh band whose name escapes me had a gigantic hit with it. So we'll do that. And I was part of a band called McGuinness Flint. We had a couple of hits. We'll do those. And in amongst that, we'll do a little bit of jazz and blues, which is what we began playing before we ever had a hit record. It's like non-stop hits in some way, like a human jukebox or karaoke by real people. We'll also do an acoustic part of the evening as well to start the second half. I mean, to be honest, we do that to make it more interesting for us, and I hope it's interesting for the audience as well.
Now, lots of people will know you from days of old, but how did you end up getting the band back together and doing a tour in 2014?
I celebrated my 50th birthday by having a sort of gig party where I'm in another band called the Blues Band, and we played, and then I got sort of McGuinness Flint stroke Gallagher and Lyle together, because Benny Gallagher and Graham Lyle were the songwriting heart of McGuinness Flint. And then top of the bill were the Manfreds, and it was our first time of playing a gig together for, let me do a quick calculation, well, the best part of 30 years. And we enjoyed it so much that ever since then we've been doing a select number of gigs each year. We don't treat it as a full-time thing, although we all do music full-time, but we do about 60 gigs a year with the Manfreds, maybe 65, maybe 55, but, averages out about 60 a year. So this is part of a 34-date tour that we're doing now. So, we got together for the best possible reason, which was to make some music together, and we enjoyed it so much, and the telephone started ringing, and people saying, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And, we just kept on doing it, and it's been... we've been together as a reunited band far longer than we ever were together as a band in the 60s.
So it's funny you say that it's a select number, but I've got the list here and it's pretty extensive. There's a lot of dates on this list.
No, for us, this is a fairly long, concentrated tour. I mean, we're doing 34 dates in about, 50 days. So that's pretty full on. I mean, to be honest, I haven't worked as hard since about 1967 in terms of, doing a concentrated run. But the reason we do it is just because we love playing. That's the only reason to do it anymore.
Brilliant.
I know it. Honestly, Richard, it is brilliant. But it's the only reason we ever started doing it, in 1961, 62, 63, when we all started, getting into bands and things. Well, not all of us, because we've got a couple of youngsters in the band now who are in their mere 50s. But if and I occasionally do get asked for advice by up-and-coming musicians, and I say, do it because you love doing it. And if you like it, you might get successful. You probably won't, because I would guess 99.9% of people who set out to make music get to make a living out of it. But the whole reason for doing it is to enjoy the fun of making music. And then if you're lucky, you'll get to make a living out of it, which I have for 50-something years.
Well, obviously you do love the music, but are you looking forward to taking the tour to Grimsby? I mean, I know it's not the first time you've played here.
The reason to do it is to get up there on stage, make music, and hope the audience enjoys it. Well, each show has ended with a standing ovation, so far on the tour. So I'm looking forward to another standing ovation in Grimsby.
All right, well, we'll look forward to it. Thanks for joining me, Tom, and that's at Grimsby Auditorium on November the 27th. Now, next on the show, it's Dan Kemp with a look ahead at the weekend sport.
Thank you, James. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad yourself.
Good. Yes, thanks. We've got a reduced amount of fixtures to look forward to this weekend, with both Hull City and Scunthorpe United not playing due to the international break. Grimsby Town are back in conference action after being knocked out of the FA Cup last weekend. They travel to Altrincham on Saturday, looking to go 9 undefeated in the league. The Mariners sit second in the Conference Premier after 20 games and sit 6 points from leaders Barnet. North Ferriby United are also in action. They host AFC Fylde at the Young Visual Media Stadium on Saturday, sitting in 10th in the Conference North against their opponents who are second. The Hull Stingrays are also in Challenge Cup ice hockey action over the course of the next few days. The Rays have back-to-back fixtures against the Coventry Blaze, playing away tomorrow and hosting them at the Hull Ice Arena on Sunday. That one has got a 6 o'clock face-off. Hull can also welcome new signing Will Frederick into the match squad for the first time. Now his visa is cleared and he hopes to contribute towards qualifying the team for the quarter-finals. Now fists will be flying at St Paul's Boxing Academy in Hull this weekend. The club, which developed the now household names of Olympic gold medalist Luke Campbell and Boom Boom Tommy Coyle, are hoping the next star could be just around the corner, but the event will feature fighters from all around the country. Mike Bromby is one of the coaches.
This Saturday we've got a tournament at the St Paul's headquarters in the marketplace. We've got boxers coming from all over London, all over the country really. Big tournament, developing the kids for the future.
And finally, back to football. The draw for the second round of the FA Cup has been made and Scunthorpe United are our only local interest in it. The Iron have yet again drawn non-league opposition as they face Worcester City at Glanford Park. Worcester, of course, the side that famously knocked Coventry out in the first round, and Scunthorpe came through a regulation victory against Forest Green Rovers. One other FA Cup item to note is that the draw for the third round, which sees Hull City enter the tournament. They lost in the final of last year, which will be done in Hull. The venue is yet to be announced. And that's all for the sport. Please remember to get in touch with us as usual. And back to you, James.
Well, thanks. So no Hull City games for you this weekend then?
No, unfortunately not. It's all England this week. Maybe
you'll have time to get the odd haircut.
Yeah, great banter. Cheers.
Thanks very much. I think you mentioned Barnet in the sports bulletin there, didn't you? Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for this week. But don't forget, if you've got any news or stories, views to share with us, please get in touch on Grimsby 31553. You can get in touch on Facebook or Twitter, search for Estuary TV, or email us on news@estuary.tv. Bye for now.